Juliet Moody is a hard-working Aussie mum with a debilitating condition. Oh, sorry, hang on. Does Canberra have any beaches? Oh, okay. Juliet Moody is a hard-working Aussie mum with a debilitating condition, forced to live in a society that fails to recognise or accommodate her crippling birth defect. Juliet is a person of short stature. Everyday tasks, the things that you and I take for granted, can be painfully difficult, and relationships are sometimes frayed. It was a childhood full of painful memories. Not only did she have to overcome her disability, she also had to deal with the painful taunts from others.
I never had the opportunity that other kids did. Basketball, monkey bars, fruit picking, pole vaulting, they were just things that were never available to me.
Now, as a mum, Juliet is forced to revisit the scene of some of her worst memories. For a child, being on the receiving end of name-calling can be traumatising. Stumpy, shrinky, small fry, carry me and butt stabber were just some of the phrases used by classmates to describe Juliet.
Heat cycle, that was my mum's name for me. She used to joke that she put me on the heat cycle in the washing machine. That's why I wasn't as tall as the other kids.
But there is one painful day in her childhood that stands out more than the others.
I'll never forget that day. It was year 9 and Mrs. Briggs was talking to us about our careers for the future. All my girlfriends and I were getting so excited. We had big dreams, you know. We wanted to get married and have a family, and we thought, how many kids are we going to have? And then we also thought, well, we need like a little job in between. And we were thinking big dreams, you know. Some of them were talking about being a nurse or a secretary, even like a hairdresser. And I had my dream job. But that's when Mrs. Briggs told me I'd never be a flight attendant. They had height restrictions. I still remember that day. It's the day I decided I'd be a teacher because they'll take anyone. They don't have standards.
Her adult life has brought some joy in the shape of a family, but life still provides its fair share of struggle.
Yeah, I've moved on. I've tried to make my life better. I've been married now for 7 years. I deliberately married a tall person because I didn't want my children to suffer as I have. I thought maybe they'd inherit his tall person gene and then they would have a better life than me. But you can't just sit there feeling sorry for yourself all the time. You've got to move forward. Some days are harder than others. Some days the kids want me to get Monopoly down for them. They want to play like other kids. I do my best. Events can be hard. Rock concerts. Discount stores are a nightmare. There have been some scientific breakthroughs and people have been able to discover different functional items that you can use around the house to help, which is great. I mean, they're expensive, but sometimes they work. Not always. I try my best, you know. I've had to improvise a little bit with methods of doing things around the house. My husband helps out when he can, but he's got to go to work, so during the day I'm left to my own devices. I remember back in 2011 I was at a party and I was having a great time. We were all just standing around talking about events in life and how our kids were going, and I thought I was part of the conversation. I was having a good time. And then it happened to me. He put his beer glass on my head. He thought I was some sort of ledge. I don't think he realised I'd been there the whole time. I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable, so I just kind of stood there for the next half an hour while he sipped his Corona.
Juliet decided it was time to make a stand for people with her condition and started a charity campaign to raise funds and awareness for people of short stature.
No one was doing anything to help us. No one was standing up for our people. So I felt like it was time I did something about it. Then I got the great idea, get high for short people. It was this campaign that was going to raise funds and awareness for people with short stature. I had such an overwhelming response at first, I couldn't believe it. Celebrities wanted to take part. Lindsay Lohan wanted to be the patron. I didn't even know she was into rock climbing. And then I found out that everybody just thought it was about drugs. In fact, some of them said they thought the logo looked like a big pile of cocaine. It had to be shut down.
You can get down now, Mum.
Give me a hand.
Oh.